Once I hit you with that back space, you ain't coming back. No control, on the beach, you give me space like that. Hit you with that back space, you ain't coming back.
Welcome back, beautiful people, to Entertainment Curated, the channel where you let us know what we should and shouldn't be playing based upon your interactions down below. Today we're going to be checking out Hundreds of Melodies. Yes, it's a visual novel. Thanks to our friends over at Rattleka Games for giving us the opportunity to check out this game. Now, as you know, JC's not a fan of visual novels. It's very apparent. But there are some. There are some. We've done a fair amount in the last, 2 months? And there are some that stand out. And it seems to be the ones that take that extra little something towards the graphics. This looks stunning. I love the aesthetic of the menu. I like the little teeny animations for when I'm actually selecting things. Like, I'll show you. Like, look at that. Ooh. It's nice. The music is nice. It's relaxing. Currently right now it's 5:16 a.m. You're thinking, JC, you get up so early? But I haven't been to bed yet. Currently running the night shift schedule for this week. I want to do some extra things. I really want to get into streaming. I know I talked to you guys so much about how I want to stream. I do so bad. So bad. But I want to make sure you guys have content here on YouTube. For all the people that do watch these videos and you do interact with these videos, I thank you so much. Honestly, I could not thank you enough. It's people like you that keep me going, to be honest. And if you're one of those beautiful people that jumped into our comment section last video, whether it was to answer the PYP or just say hello, here's the comment on screen that we chose. And the PYP for this video is, would you rather have all your clothes be 2 sizes too small? Just like every day, just squeezing into your clothes. Or spit up a fur ball like a cat each time you cough. I mean, I guess it comes down to how often do you cough. I'm getting up in those years. I know people are going to be like, 38's not that old. I know. But I do start off my day with a cough. I do. And that would be a fur ball every day. I don't get sick often. So I think I will go that way, though. I don't get sick often, which means I don't cough often. And if I'm only going to do a fur ball in the morning once, okay, fine. Because I can't do those 2 sizes too small clothing. I can't breathe. What happens if you're like in a business meeting, you an Incredible Hulk out of your shirt? Some people might be okay with that. I don't. But let me know down in the comments down below, what would you choose? All your clothes 2 sizes too small, or spit up a fur ball every time you cough? Let's jump into the game. Is that animation again? Hundreds of Melodies. I've only got to know about Lee G. Wow, I'm gonna butcher these names. I'm so sorry. Lee Jae-yoon. Death a week ago. That day, as I remember, was bland and ordinary as usual. Prelude. Obituary. I think this is our home. I received a delivery. Wow, just an achievement for starting the game up. Slow your roll. I received a delivery package from Zaijin Rehabilitation. That's an English word, JC. Rehabilitation Hospital. The package was sent by someone with the surname of Ouyang. Magenta is actually the, I think it's like the dev I think Radalike is the publisher, and then the dev, it's like something magenta. So they put their name on the fridge, which is kind of cool. The person to receive delivery was Jae-yoon, Jae-yoon's father. If somebody could give me a pronunciation down below, that would be greatly appreciated. Especially if we're going to have to keep playing through this. I want to definitely get these names right. The delivery man had already come twice. As no one was home, the package was received on behalf of them by me, the neighbor. The package was wrapped in translucent plastic, revealing a delicately patterned notebook. The notebook looked rather new and probably wasn't used for very long. This notebook probably belonged to Jae-yoon, who could have carelessly left it in the hospital and was sent over by a helpful nurse. Since I had already received it on behalf of someone, I would have to return it to myself. I thought as I went down the stairs and knocked on the door of Jae-yoon's house. Talk, talk, talk. Talk, talk, talk. I didn't even need to say that. No response was received by my knocking, so I proceeded to ring the old and dulled doorbell that was there ever since my primary school days. Still, there was only silence. I don't really know if that's dong dong dong. I knocked even harder on the door, but was again met with silence from the other side. Looks like there is really no one at home. Now that I think of it, it had been quite a while since I saw Jae-yoon's, as well as Uncle and Aunt Lee. Oh, Uncle and Aunt Lee. Okay, gotcha. This is probably due to my staying in school for most of the time and thus didn't come home often. Just as I was about to give it one last shot.
Yo, Xiao Su ah.
Xiao Su. See, if you say the name, I can get it. Oh, hi, Granny Dong. The granny who called out to me was my neighbor. Looking at the groceries she was carrying, she had probably just returned from the market.
哎，别敲啦，没人儿。
There's no need to knock. The house is empty. Oh, are they out for today? I just picked up a package that is meant for Uncle Lee. I don't know when they will be back, though. Granny Dong looked at me, full of surprise, making me a little bewildered as well. After a few moments, she seemed to have understood and shook her head.
对了，你住学校，也好久没回来了。跟你说，他们不在啦。
So I've just realized this is not Japanese. This is Mandarin. So, for the people that speak Mandarin out there, I do apologize. Oh, now I remember. You live in school and hasn't been home for a long time. Now let me tell you, they aren't here anymore. Does that mean that we're living on campus? Because please tell me that we're not just living at a high school. That answer left me a little confused. Aren't here anymore? What do you mean by aren't here anymore?
他们搬走了，上个月的事情。
Okay. Moved out? Oh, now I see. Weren't they doing just fine? Why did they suddenly move out? I was extremely puzzled. And then I thought, maybe they've gotten a new house and moved over. Granny, where have they moved to? Granny Dong shook her head, and she started to look a little bleak.
地址啊，我也没有，走得太急了，招呼也没打。
I mean, that sucks. Especially if you're neighbors for so long. I see. Sorry to trouble you. I just received a delivery that is probably meant for Jae-yoon. The sender may have written the old address by mistake. As soon as I finished my sentence, I heard Granny Dong let out a soft sigh. Soft it might be, but it was worrying to hear. As I raised my head and looked at her, her gaze looked duller than ever before. After a few seconds of internal struggle, she slowly let out the few words.
小丫头她走啦。
Where? I mean, obviously you don't know. We've already had this conversation. Closing my door, I slumped heavily onto the chair. Jayun has passed on. She's dead. As much as Granny Dong had tried to phrase it, I immediately understood what she was trying to say. Left? Where else could she have gone? Jayun, the quiet but adorable girl that I knew, no longer belonged to this world. Jayun was the sole daughter of Uncle Lee, who lived below us. She was born a few years after me and was a docile and understanding child. Despite being considerably older than father, Uncle Lee and father had used to study together both locally and abroad. As a result, our families were rather close to each other. The two even went to work together at the Science Institute. I was born earlier than Jayun, therefore it can be considered that I had watched her grow up. To me, whom I had happened to be the only son, Jayun was like a sister to me. Ever since her birth, Jayun had never been in the best of health. It was a norm for her to be admitted to the hospital, take injections as well as medication. Thus, she was always a topic of concern amongst mother and father as well. If we hadn't seen her for a period of time, it could be almost certain that she had been admitted to the hospital again. Father said that Uncle Lee was an honest man, yet in mother's words, this person was suited for his brains being used, but not on behalf of the nation. Jayun's mother seemed to have given up on research and took up a business instead. Probably as a result in her new profession, I did not get to see her as often over the years. Every time I saw her would most likely be due to Jayun being admitted to the hospital again, or that she had just been discharged from it. In fact, this had almost become a gauge which we used to determine Jayun's health. On the other hand, Jayun didn't seem to pay much attention to her health. She had always obediently and cheerfully stayed by the side of her parents. I heard that Uncle and Aunt Lee had tried all sorts of methods to improve Jayun's condition. These methods ranged from Western traditional medicine and even to unorthodox methods when all else failed. Due to the long periods of time spent in the hospital, her body seemed to carry a smell that is found in the hospital. Her hair color also seemed lighter than normal people. Because of her hair color, we used to call her a yellow-haired lass as an inside joke. It might also be due to these factors that she always found it hard to blend in and mix with other kids. Now that I think of it, only one older girl who was said to be her cousin was willing to spend time to be with and play with her. She also used to have sleepovers at Jayun's house. This is so sad! Whenever those two were together, Jayun would always look more energetic than usual. Unfortunately, this didn't happen very often. I will be her friend! That's so sad! I recall that Jayun's appetite was always small whenever both our families had meals together. She would be quiet at her seat, gracefully raising her glass to take a sip of water, then slowly putting the glass down. That action had left an impression on me. However, what struck me the most about her was how quiet she was. She would always sit at the side of the window quietly watching the adults talk with this faint smile on her face. I stayed at home much less frequently after I enrolled in boarding school. As a result, Jayun had slowly slipped off my mind. Even though Mom and Dad so frequently talked about her condition, I grew to care less as time passed. How could I have known? Just as she slipped off my mind, Jayun left quietly, just like that. Quiet, like how she always was. This is gonna make me cry. Why? Mom and Dad being out of the house had allowed me to have a rare break. These two had seemed to have dropped a heavy burden off their shoulders after sending me to boarding school, releasing that life was made so much more enjoyable from not needing to raise their child. Now it's much more common to see them leave the house to go on holidays. Because of that, I have gained quite a lot of freedom. Fortunately, due to my self-control, I have not gone too wayward. I wasn't in the mood for anything today. As a resulted, I canceled all of my plans so that I could spend some time alone at home. I took a pencil and drew 2 sketches for my homework. However, those sketches turned out to be way below standard. I put down the pencil as waves of hunger started attacking me. Just as I was about to head for the supermarket, it started pouring outside. It was already 9 p.m. when I looked at the time again. Running out of ideas on things to do, I decided to sleep earlier today. As I was preparing to sleep, I heard a knock on the door outside. There really is someone at my door? The knocking was loud but not hurried. It doesn't sound like the security nor the maintenance guy. I looked at the peephole of my door. There's a man with a bookish look and wearing a pair of spectacles. However, I don't recognize him for anyone that I know of. He's wearing a gray shirt with his pants hidden from the peephole. A slight awkwardness was upon his face, and his hair, which was wet by the rain, made him look a little languished. Honestly, he didn't look like a bad person, more like the downtrodden bookworm that you hear from legends. Maybe he has something urgent, I thought as I opened the door. Hello, you are? This is Miss Zhao's house? Yes, it is. You are? I'm his son. Are you looking for my father? No, I'm... The man seemed like he wanted something but had difficulty getting it out. My parents won't be home these few days. Is there anything urgent I can help to convey a message? I see. He looked down in disappointment but raised his head almost instantly and asked rather loudly, I ask if you have recently received a delivery. I felt a wave of numbness on my back immediately when I heard that. It's either due to my anticipation or the striking memory of that recent package. Hearing the word delivery instantly filled me with excitement. What kind of delivery are you talking about? It's the delivery that was meant for Mr. Lee, who lived downstairs. I asked that only for confirmation, and the reply was, as I have expected. Yes, I have it with me now. You are? Upon hearing my reply, the man let out a long sigh of relief. His initially tense face started to loosen up. That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. He said the same line over and over again in an agitated tone. He seems to be trying to calm himself down by doing that. I stood and looked at him, not knowing what to say. Well, do you want to come in and talk? I let the man into the house. He followed me in without much hesitation. Why did the granny's the only one that had a voice? There is ready-made tea in the house. After receiving a cup of tea from me, he thanked me and put the tea aside. He still hasn't told us his name. The delivery. Can you show it to me? Hold on for a moment. I walked to the television cabinet and retrieved the package. It had not been touched and was still in good condition. Are you a relative of Mr. Lee? I probed as I thought it was too hasty to simply just give it to him. I am not. However, I do know Lee Jia-yun. This answer surprised me. I paused for a while and asked, You are Jia-yun's? How do I put it? We are friends, I guess. This is undoubtedly an unexpected answer. Jia-yun is younger than me by many years. She shouldn't even be in middle school by now. The man before me is obviously much older than she is. It does not seem appropriate at all for them to be friends. I froze at my spot holding the package, not knowing what to do. The man seemed to understand my thoughts and my concerns. He himself seemed to feel some awkwardness. I know that this may seem a little weird, but please trust me in speaking the truth. The man's expression and tone have led me to believe him. I walked over and put the package onto the table with my hand placed over it. The man did not reach for the package. Instead, he stared at the package with mixed emotions, looking like he already knew what was inside the package. Is this the one? The man nodded his head. That's right. This is Jia-yun's diary. It was given to her recently as a birthday present by a friend. Diary? Everything was too hasty at the time. Everyone wasn't in the right state of mind, and the diary got left in the hospital as a result. I see. Can you let me see it? Hold on. Does Uncle Lee know about this? Yes. However, Mr. and Miss Lee are too occupied and worn out from settling Jia-yun's matter, so I was... All right. If you are worried, I can leave my identification card with you, but please allow me to have the diary. Oh, no. There's no need for that. I just want to ask. Do you know where they have moved to? I do. I've been helping them run errands for Jia-yun's funeral, so I've been there a few times. It's at probably Kylin Gate near Tangshan Mountain. The man answered all of my questions without showing any signs of lying or trying to hide something. Thus, I dismissed my suspicions. They've moved such a long way from here. Well, the package? Oh, here you go. I put away my hand and passed the package to the man. He stared at it intently upon receiving it from me, and then held it close to him as if it was treasure. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Filled with excitement, he took out his pen and paper and started writing. He then passed it to me. I looked at it. It was written in a beautiful font saying, Wei Q U. Q Wu. That is probably his name. It is very poetic and suited his appearance. Below the name is a string of numbers. It should be his mobile number. I can't thank you enough for today. This is my contact. I shall take my leave. Will there be anyone home tomorrow? There should be. That's great. Mr. Lee has something that he wants to pass to your family. I will stop by tomorrow to deliver them. No problem. I will be in tomorrow. As he finished, the man stood up and gave me a nod full of gratitude. He thanked me all the way until he reached the staircase, making me feel a little embarrassed. Such a special person he is. As expected, the man came again the next afternoon. And that's where we're going to pause it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Like, I like, as I said before, the overall aesthetics of everything are nice. The story's intriguing. I'm wondering, like, is there something special about my friend downstairs? What was special about maybe her death? Who's this person that's, like, I guess facilitating for their parents? And what type of relation? Because it seems like everything's kind of confusing as to their relations between them and downstairs, right? So, I don't know. But honestly, don't take my word for it. Let me know based upon your interactions below if you want me to keep playing this game. But until next time, whether you're online or offline, stay focused. Get yours. See ya.